Hey guys, so Super Rugby round 16 is done and dusted. It was a great weekend of Super Rugby. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the scores, and we'll just do the bit of the log on how it is. It's quite congested at the moment. All I can say is that the two top teams are still in the top, the Crusaders and the Hurricanes. They've got the most points, but in saying that, you know, take the Jaguares on 41 points, the Hurricanes on 44, and the Chiefs are well over 50. So there's no Crusaders are well over 50. So yeah, the log's becoming really, really congested, and I think the talk and the money is probably looking at having a Jaguares Crusaders final in Christchurch. I think that really might be a turn up for the books, especially considering that the Jaguares are a great travelling side. So yeah, but let me go through the scores for the weekend, and then I'll do a bit of a discussion about the games. The first game of the weekend, we've got the Bulls versus the Blues, or the Blues versus the Bulls, playing in Eden Park. I think the score at the end was 22-all. A lot of the YouTubers that I follow from New Zealand actually support the Blues, and I support the Bulls, so it was quite an interesting game. I thought the 22 score was a fair reflection of the game. A lot of handling errors, a lot of knock-ons, but the weather was absolutely atrocious. It looked like it was raining absolute buckets there. So considering that, I think it was a must-win game for both teams. Looking at the Blues score, they only had 28, and to obviously try and make it into the 8th spot, you need at least 33, it's a bonus point. I think it's a bonus point. Yeah, it's a bonus point win. So yeah, I've got a feeling this may have been the final nail in their coffin. I think there's still 2 more games to come up, so yeah, they may still turn their season around, but I think they've got 2 intense games coming up. So yeah, I think I think that's the end of the Blues for the season. For the Bulls, I think they've saved their season. Well, they haven't saved it yet, but they needed a victory, but a draw is good enough for them. They're still on 34 points, so they're still in touching distance for the top of the African Conference. So yeah, it's yes, out of that game, I think the Blues lost and the Bulls won. From a points point of view, not from a rugby point of view. So yeah, my team's still in with a shot, and let's hope. Let's see if they make the quarterfinals. And you know, and for all that great hard work and everything to get into 8th spot, you got to fly all the way to Christchurch to go play the Crusaders. So yeah, you know, that's your reward for making the playoffs. Or you have to fly all the way to Buenos Aires and play the Jaguares. That's the reward. But yeah, next game of the weekend, we got the Rebels versus the Waratahs. I'd actually predicted that the Rebels would win this game. But yeah, I think the Waratahs just pulled that out of the bag. Yeah, great victory for them. I think it puts them still, they're on 30 points. I think they can still go past the Rebels on 34 if they win the next couple of games. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Waratahs can be up there, because generally the Waratahs are up there. And I think a couple of years ago they did actually win the whole trophy. Next game, I didn't watch this. The Sunwolves versus the Brumbies. I only get to watch a few games on the weekend, and yeah, I had to watch. I had Barbarians rugby and bloody Premiership finals and stuff like that. But yeah, Brumbies great victory there, 42-19. The Sunwolves. I think they've got play. I think they're going to Argentina and they're playing Stormers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I think they've got 2 really hard games coming up, and yeah, I just don't see them winning any more games going the rest of the season. Next game was probably the most entertaining game of the weekend, was the Crusaders versus the Chiefs, or the Chiefs versus the Crusaders. Chiefs winning that game 40-27. I think there was no one was expecting that. But yeah, I think they were 20-0 down at half time, and then they scored 40 points. 40 points to 7. That's seriously impressive. And you know, for a Chiefs side that is seriously underpowered, it doesn't have the same kind of X-factor players to really pull that victory out. I think congratulations to them. The Chiefs they fairly much have saved their season. I'm not sure who they're playing next, but yeah, they can obviously go back up into the playoff spots, which is really, really good news for them. Next game, I also got to say that was probably one of the best broken field rugby games by far this year. Highly entertaining, very expansive, very fast. It was just great offloads, great everything. Next game, we've got the Reds versus the Jaguares. I had predicted the Hawaii to win. I think they're the real deal. They are packed with stars, and for me, I think it's great that the Hawaii have such a great side. I really do. I think it's great for the competition. It's great for African rugby or the African Conference. I think we've got real competition that, and it's good to play against international stars and really pick your game up. Next game, the Sharks versus the Hurricanes. I predicted the Sharks would win this game, but the Hurricanes pulled that out 30-17. The only thing that disappointed me about that game was the niggliness. I watched the Blues Bulls game, and it was a physical, hard, confrontational game. But there was no fighting. It was just, hey, we had to play a game, and that was it. Whereas I felt the Blues and the Sharks and the Hurricanes just seemed like, I don't know, maybe they took their testosterone pills in the morning, and it just seemed very, very, very confrontational, very in your face. And at the end, when I think there was that fight on the floor, and then Dane Cole came charging in, and then everyone came charging in. It's not a good spectacle for rugby in general. So yeah, I just hope. I've got a feeling that the sighting officers are going to be going through that with a fine-tooth comb, because it looked like there were a lot of shoulder charges. They look like there might be something more coming out. I don't know, but I just hope that they can stamp that out, because we want the refs to be more neutral. We want the refs to make better decisions, but then it also comes to the players. They also need to make better decisions on the field and not be as violent and aggressive like that. Last game of the weekend, Lions versus the Stormers. I thought this was going to be a cracker, and it was a cracker. Pity, but even Etzebeth looks like he's broken his hand. I hope it's not for too long. South Africa desperate to have. We need him for the Rugby World Cup. But yeah, highly entertaining game. That Lions side win. It is on. They are on. That literally reminded me of the Lions from last year. One thing I did notice over all the weekend, because Yankees wasn't playing and Pollard wasn't playing. It seemed like the Bulls and the Lions, they changed their game plan just a little bit. With Yankees, there would have been a lot more territory kicks. It would have been a little bit of a different game, and playing more ball in hand seems to suit their style a little bit more than the way that they have been playing these last couple of weeks. Malcolm Marx had an exceptional game. Quagga Smith is just bar none probably one of the best sevens converts from sevens rugby. They always say, no, he's not big enough, and you're going, well, for an open side, I think he's an open side. He's probably the same size as Ardie Savea, and no one ever says that about Ardie Savea, that he's not big enough. There's something to say for Hart and something to say for all those kind of things. And Quagga Smith has to be behind Sia Khaleesi. He has to be included. He is literally on form. The guy's got his X factor. He's got the experience, and you cannot say he's too small. If Ardie Savea, you will never say that Ardie Savea wouldn't make the side because he's too small. So yeah, I think there's a bit of a double standard there. But yeah, overall it was great. The lineup. If I'm looking at the log here now, obviously the Crusaders at the top, Hurricanes next. I've got the Jaguares. I think there's only 3 points between the Jaguares and the Hurricanes. So the Jaguares could, in theory, go past. I think the Jaguares have got two home games. One's against the Sunwolves and one against the Sharks. They could easily beat those. The Hurricanes are traveling to Johannesburg, which might be a little bit difficult. So this coming weekend, the Jaguares could easily overtake the Hurricanes, and then we've got a really, really proper log. It really is a lot fairer if the 3 top teams from all conferences are actually the 3 top teams. So we've got the Crusaders on 53, the Hurricanes on 44, the Jaguares on 41, the Brumbies on 39, and then coming after that, we've got the Lions on 35. I think that's seriously good. I think if the Lions can cement that 5th spot, which is great, because I think you play against the 4th team, which would be the Hurricanes. But okay. And you'd have to travel there. Then the Rebels, it's in 6th spot with 34 points. Same Bulls, 34 points, and then the Sharks on 33. So yeah, it's very, very close. I think just outside of that, we've got the Chiefs and the Waratahs on 31 and 30. And then the Highlanders and the Blues on 29 and 28. So This coming weekend, I think the Highlanders are playing the Bulls. It's a must-win game for them. If they draw in that game as well, or if they lose that game, then I think that's their season finished. They won't make a playoff spot. So it's a absolute must-win game for them. The Bulls have to go for at least a bonus point loss, or get the draw, or hey, it would be lovely if we got the victory. So yeah, I think it's going to be. I think this coming weekend we literally will know exactly who's going to be making it through. There might still be one or two jostling for positions, but yeah, currently I think it's going to be Crusaders winning their conference, Jaguares winning the African conference, and then the Brumbies winning the Australian conference. And I think it's at this rate, I've got a feeling the Chiefs are turning around. They might knock out one of the African sides and make a playoff spot. But yeah, interesting weekend of rugby. What were your thoughts of the games? Did you think they were entertaining? What were your moments of the weekend? Listen, guys, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful week. Chat soon. Cheers. Bye.